Alright guys, so today is July 29th, 2024, and last night I took 3 trades, so I'm just going to be reviewing them right now. So on the daily time frame, we have a fair value gap and a order block. I was looking for price to retrace higher into this fair value gap and then a continuation lower, targeting this daily order block. Moving on to the 1 hour time frame. Sorry, it's a bit messy, but basically here we have the sell side of the curve and then we have the buy side. So we're currently generating sell side liquidity, and we also have an external buy side liquidity up here and an external sell side over here, or even down here as well. And we have internal buy side and internal sell side as well. So basically I drew a fib from the top to the bottom here, and I was trying to refine the drawn liquidity, and I wanted to target this area over here because it's above the 0.5 on the fib, which is premium prices, which is where I'm looking to sell off of, right? But on the way up, we're looking for longs. At the 2 a.m. candle, I drew a line from the top of the wick to the bottom of the wick, and that would be my range for the silver bullet trade. So moving on to the 1 minute time frame, I took a trade right over here. As you can see, I got stopped out relatively quickly. I took 2 trades actually. One with the entry right over here. I noticed that price swept liquidity, and I was looking for price to actually bounce off this fair value gap right here because the draw is higher and I'm looking for price to continue higher. But unfortunately, I got stopped out, and the second I got stopped out, I re-entered again because I genuinely believe that price would continue higher. Basically, entered, got stopped out, entered again, and then I got stopped out as well. So I took 2 losses pretty quick actually. Let me show you guys. The first trade, I took a $57.30 USD loss, and then the next trade, I took a $49.20 loss. They were both like back to back really quick, as you can see here. And honestly, that put me back 1% on the account. This is the phase 1 FTMO account. I decided to use it because the free trial actually expired. So we weren't off to a great start. So even though I took 2 losses within the span of like 10 minutes, I still genuinely believe that the price would continue higher. I went on the 1 hour chart and I was just looking at this area right here, right? There was a fair value gap, and I was looking for price to bounce off this fair value gap to continue higher. And I wanted to get in at a good price. So I drew a fib from the bottom to the top up here. And as you can see, price never actually hit this area. However, I actually misplaced my entry on the brokerage. I think I placed it like right over here. So we ended up getting triggered into the trade. I had a limit order. I wasn't even like, I was watching the chart and I was like, oh man, price continued higher without me. But I looked at my MT5 and I see that I'm actually entered in on a trade. That actually worked out really great. I was up $100, like break even basically. And I honestly, like in my mind, I was like, I could just cut the trade right now and I'll be break even. Back to 10,000 for my phase 1. And then I was just thinking to myself, come on, if you don't follow the risk to reward strategy, you're not gonna really get anywhere. So I moved the take profit to this high up here. I moved my stop loss to break even. Once I did that, I just decided that, okay, this is good enough for me. If I lose, I don't lose anything. Well, I'll be down 1% on the day, but if I win, then I'll be up around like 1% basically. I went to bed and I woke up to a $231.40 profit. As you can see right here. I thought that was pretty cool. I didn't really do a silver bullet trade. I looked at the chart and I did what I thought price would do, right? So we had the sell side of the curve, and then now we're moving up higher, right? So we're generating sell side liquidity. But before we continue lower, I was looking for price to sweep this area up here. After that, continue lower. But I was looking for a sweep. And in the meantime, I was just looking for buys until we hit this area to continue lower. Price just eventually hit my TP. And yeah, here we are. We're currently up like 1.24% on the phase 1 FTMO challenge account. And I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, that'll be all for this trade recap. This was the 3 to 4 a.m. London session. And then I woke up to trade the New York session, but it didn't offer any opportunities. Probably gonna trade the London session tonight, and we'll see what the markets have in store for us. So yeah, catch you later. Alright guys, so it's currently July 30th, 2024, and I'm currently in a position, as you can see right here, on NASDAQ 100. I'm just going to be going over my reasoning for taking this trade. So the trade starts off on the 1 hour time frame. We do have external buy side, external sell side. These lines represent areas of liquidity, and we also have a 1 hour fair value gap right here. That's where I was looking for price to bounce off of. And I drew a fib from the bottom to the top here. And this was the 0.5 area. So anything below it, I was looking to take buys or longs to continue higher into this buy side liquidity. So moving on to the 15-minute, it's more clearer. I was looking for this area to get swept lower and then continue higher because we had double or relative equal lows here. That's where I expect price to sweep, continue higher. When it did sweep, I was looking for it to go to this hourly fair value gap past the 0.5 on the fib. That was basically what I was looking for. So on the 1 minute chart, we do have the 9 a.m. range, the top and the bottoms right here. We swept liquidity, bounced off the fair value gap, made displacement, retraced into a fair value gap right here. My entry was actually right over here in this fair value gap. My stop loss being the lows, my take profit being the highs right here. Yeah, I'm just waiting for price to play out. We are currently up $50. There's also a bit of buy side generated right here. I'm looking to continue higher, and I'd like to see this more displacement, fair value gap creations, and a bounce off that displacement. Damn, I'm not liking this price action. But at times like this, I just gotta breathe. I mean, honestly, I think this trade has some decent potential. It's aligning with the higher time frame bias. We're doing it in the silver bullet hour. Yeah, I mean, overall, I think everything's just aligning. I just gotta breathe. Like, I kind of want to just go to the gym right now. You know, it's crazy. Like, I was up like 0.5%. Now I'm back down to like negative $3. And every time I get this bullish candle, it just gives me false hope. Price is really just playing with my emotions. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't. Okay. That's crazy. To be up like 50 something to down 50 something is crazy. Okay. Honestly, it does suck that this trade didn't get to play out. I'll see what happens later on the chart, but I think the whole thought process behind this trade was pretty solid. I think this was just one of those times where, unfortunately, it didn't play out. I just got stopped. Because yeah, like I said, it aligned with the higher time frame bias. We got the sweep. We got the break of structure, kind of. But a retracement into the fair value gap to continue higher. So yeah, I mean, that's it for now. Gotta move on to the next one. Alright guys, so it's currently 10:06 p.m. and earlier today I did set a limit order. It ended up getting filled, which resulted in a $38.65 USD loss. So this set me back a little bit on the funded account, but we're still up around 0.02%. So that's pretty good. I mean, it's not great that we took 4 losses and 1 win, but the win was able to compensate for those 4 losses. Like I said earlier, I did take a long position, and the whole idea was based on the 1 hour time frame. So here, as you can see, we have sell side and buy side, right? There's a ton of liquidity resting up here, and we got displacement to the downside, sweeping this sell side liquidity. So at the time, we were around this area right here, right? I saw that sell side got swept, and I was looking for price to continue higher, targeting the buy side up here. So when I saw this, I was waiting for an entry lower, right? I drew a fib from the top, bottom to the top here, and I just kind of eyeballed the 50% area. I set my limit order right over here, so it was a little bit below the 50%, which is buying in a discount, which is what you want, right? So I set my limit order here, my stop loss here, and my take profit all the way at the top over here. Unfortunately, we did get stopped out. So let me just play price forward. So yeah, I mean, out of nowhere, we got like a massive dump. We swept this low right here, and then yeah, we hit the daily order block and then continued higher. So that is what resulted in the loss. And price quickly bounced off the order block, retraced up higher, and now price is literally moving higher. And we're currently here as of right now. So it does suck that we did take a loss. I think the entry, honestly, I thought the entry was valid because on the 5-minute time frame, right, we got displacement. I wouldn't say displacement, but we made it break a structure. It wasn't a true break a structure, but we still broke structure here, right? We retraced lower. I was looking to take an entry below the 0.5 at a discount, although it should have probably been at some fair value gap, right? Like even right here, the loss would have been minimal. But in my head at the time, I was saying that price wouldn't go lower than this, right? So I wouldn't even get entered. But as you can see here, it went right past it. And now we're continuing higher, which honestly, it is what it is. I think next time I will use the 5-minute time frame for a entry, or like a better confirmation in terms of like a breaker structure, right? If I could see displacement on the 5-minute chart and then a retracement into a fair value gap, that would be amazing. Honestly though, I do think I had the right idea. It was just unfortunate price literally just went straight down to my stop loss. But you know what? It is what it is. I'm still learning. I still honestly think we can target the buy side up here. So let's just see how the markets play out. So yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Alright guys, so it's currently August 2nd, 2024, and today is the first Friday of the month, which is NFP week. I actually did end up taking a trade because I did see an opportunity, so I took it. So we did end up making a profit of $130.20 USD on the Phase 1 FTMO account. So I will show you guys right here. And basically, I'm just going to be going over why I decided to take the trade. So yeah, let's get into the charts. Alright guys, so starting on the daily time frame, I marked out the buy side, the fair value gap, the order block, and the sell side. So once price hit this order block, I was looking for it to retrace maybe halfway before continuing lower. And that's what set the bias for the day. I was looking for price to continue higher before retracing lower. Moving on to the 1 hour time frame, I did mark out the 9 a.m. high and the 9 a.m. low. We also have a bunch of fair value gaps I was looking for price to draw to as well. So moving on to the 1 minute, as you can see, we have buy side resting up here. We have the 9 a.m. high and the 9 a.m. low. I was looking for a sweep, which we eventually got right here. We swept the 9 a.m. lows as well as this low right here. Then we eventually formed a swing high and we displaced above it, causing a break of structure. And that's when I decided to take my entry on this fair value gap right over here. So right off the bat, we were negative, and honestly, I was pretty discouraged. I was just waiting for my stop loss to get hit, and then out of nowhere, we just displaced higher. So at this point, I was up $100. And I was really debating on whether I should just close out the trade, because the past 2 trades I lost around like $100 basically. So at this point I'd be like break even if I did close out this position. And I had to think about it for a long time because it's Friday, it's NFP week, and I really didn't want to end the week on a loss. That was my thought process. But then I caught myself. I was like, yo, if you keep doing this, you'll honestly get nowhere, because if we're just trading to break even, I'm never going to move anywhere. So I just had to trust in my strategy and stick to my plan. Now, initially, my take profit was up here, but I was just going to, because it was Friday, I didn't want to get stuck in this trade over the weekend. So I decided to just aim for this buy side liquidity, which was basically a 1 to 2. Yeah, it was a 1 to 2. So yeah, I mean, honestly, this trade was playing with my emotions quite a bit. I was up $100 and then I went all the way back into drawdown. We went back up here, got massive wicks up here. We're generating sell side. So I'm like, there's a good chance that we'd break past and sweep the sell side. And that really discouraged me. Yeah, I just had to breathe throughout this trade. I had to really focus on the outcome and just stick to my strategy. So as you can see here, eventually, we continued higher and we hit TP. This goes to show how important it is to keep a consistent and positive risk to reward. So I'd say at least a 1 to 2, because I noticed before my win rate was high, but my risk to reward was really low, and that like resulted in a loss. Basically, I was always negative. But now this whole week I took 4 losses and 2 wins, but I was able to come out positive on the week. As you can see, I'm up 1.5% on the account, and yeah, I'm pretty happy. There's also definitely a bit of luck to it, because as you can see, we never broke past this area over here. Just a lot of buy side sitting, and we're just generating more right here. So yeah, I mean, we definitely got really lucky with the placement. I'm just glad it was a 1 to 2. What a great way to end the week. But definitely keep a positive risk to reward. That's how you stay profitable in the long term. And just stick to your plan. Like, you have to really trust in your plan, because at this point, like, not gonna lie, my faith in the plan started diminishing once I saw this forming. Actually, it started forming, like, my faith started to diminish after we went up $100 and then went straight back down. But you know what? I caught myself lacking, and we eventually made a profit. All right, guys, so that'll be all for this video. Be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and also join the free Discord in the link in the description below. It's a community of new traders, and I hope we can all learn and grow together. But yeah, and as always, guys, for those of you who are on the same journey as me, just remember to keep a positive risk to reward and stay faithful in your plan, because that is what will get you to the end goal. So yeah, take care, guys. Peace.